Hello, everybody. It's so good to have you today. And we have a lot of guests that we are welcoming today on our Recovery in Action. And we're just so pleased that we have a lot of exciting things going on in Connersville. And one thing I want to tell everyone is Merry Christmas for sure. And I hope everyone is having a great holiday adventure. If you've been to Walmart or anything, I can assure you that there's a big crowd, but it's tis the season, and I love this time of year. But I hope everyone has checked out what all is going on in our beautiful community. The new museum, the art gallery, the Polar Express, Santa's house, and even John Connor got in on it holding his candy cane. If you haven't seen it, you need to go downtown. The beautiful decorations that they've decorated the town with, everything looks so nice. It makes it such a wonderful time of the year, and it just takes pride in our community. And that's one thing that Connersville has been needing, and I just feel like everything looks so great. We have so much new and exciting things happening in the community, and I want to tell everyone that there is recovery and there is hope. And that's what this show is about today. And lots of times we address issues on addiction, but we never address the families of people that are in addiction. And today that's what we're doing. And we're very excited to announce that we have a new meeting that is going to be coming up on Sunday evenings. But first I want to tell you about the meetings that we have ongoing right now. And that's on Monday night. It's Better Days. And it's on Iowa Avenue. It's where the Faith Builders Christian School is, behind Grandview School. And that starts at, I think you can go at 5 o'clock. And there's a meal served. And then the meeting starts at 6. And on Tuesday at the Cross Point Bikers Church at 6:30 p.m., they have Brianna's Hope. And on Wednesday evenings at Community Corrections, they have Anger Management, Criminal Addictive Thinking, and then there's one night that they have Living in Balance. And if there's any of those classes that you would like to partake in, just get a hold of Community Corrections, and they will tell you how to get involved in that. And it really helps having support. On Thursday evenings is the Parish House, and that's an AA group. And on Friday nights, it's at the Parish House. That's over on Eastern Avenue behind the Episcopal Church. They're right beside Hardee's. If you go down that alley, it's in the little Parish House there. And Friday nights, that's NA. And then Saturday, right now, there is no meetings in town, but there's several in the surrounding communities. And Sunday evening at the parish, at St. Gabriel's Church in the parish room, they have NA. And that starts at 7 p.m. But what we're going to talk about today is 2 new meetings that we're going to start having. And what the meetings that we're going to start doing at St. Gabriel's Church is helping the recovery for the addiction. For the people in addiction, it's their families, the children, the grandparents, the moms, the dads of people suffering from addiction. It's a support group that we're going to have to help everyone in the family. We've talked about it a long time, and to my knowledge, it's one of the first in the area that, we are covering children, teens, and adults that are suffering from people in addiction. And first of all, I want to introduce you to my guests today. And we'll start with Melody Wright, and Cheryl Reno is in the middle, and Alicia Wedding. And each one of us have gotten together, and we have compiled a lot of education, knowledge, and support for people that are struggling with loved ones in addiction. So we'll start off with Alicia. And Alicia, if you could tell us a little bit of what you're going to do and why you got into this.
Well, I was actually a high school teacher for several years and was working with children. And before I got my degree, if they ever had any problems of this sort, I would have to take them to the high school, to their counselor. And then I eventually decided I wanted to go into social work for myself. And now I feel like there's a gap in services for children of people suffering from addiction. And I just wanted to make sure that they had a safe place to go and be able to talk with others that understand what they're going through, and maybe give them a little bit more education about addiction as an illness and not just as a problem. And
Absolutely.
I think a little education would go a long way towards making their home life a little better, and having peers to talk to that are having some of the same issues.
Absolutely, and they've proven that. I mean, the peer-to-peer in recovery and in the support is where it's at. And so many times, and I'm like you, I believe the children and the teens kind of get left out. We've always had the saying, and I've heard so many people say this, oh, they'll adjust. Oh, but it's sometimes they need help adjusting. Sometimes they need support. Sometimes they need, just someone that understands what they're going through. I as an adult am that way. I mean, sometimes I just need someone to talk to. And kids and children are the same way. And this support group, and some of the stuff you're going to be doing in it was just amazed me. The mindfulness. Explain what the mindfulness part of that is.
The group is actually going to be divided into a 7 through 12 group and a 13 through 19 group, because I believe sometimes younger children don't really understand what's going on at home, but they also do have things going on in their home life that may make them have anger problems, attention problems. And since children have such amazing imaginations, the mindfulness works particularly well on children, just helping them imagine different things based on if they're having anger or if they're having hurt feelings. There are mindfulness techniques to do with those. And then with the teens, it will be more issues that are concerning them as far as school, dealing with a parent at home, and just kind of educating them so that they know how to deal with it in an appropriate way.
Right. And lots of times we talked about this, children, they don't always know what to do, so they act out. Lots of times kids that are having, bad behaviors, it's not that they're a horrible child, but they have all these emotions and everything that is, inside them, and so they act out in bad behaviors, but they're actually screaming for help sometimes. And I think this is going to work great, and I agree with dividing of the groups because of the maturity level, because there's things that the teenagers are going to go through that the youth don't need to hear, and vice versa. So Cheryl, tell me.
Well, I have family members that are and have recovered, and they're doing quite well. But we had a town meeting with St. Gabriel's and Father Dustin, and one of the subjects that was brought up was we need to help people that have addicts in their families because they don't understand. And it's not really something that you can understand on your own. You really need to go to group therapy and be with people that are going through the same thing you are going through. So I spoke up at the town hall meeting and said, well, Father, we could probably get something going like that. And the next thing I know, he calls me the next day because Sharon calls him and says, we have this program. So we've all gotten together and we're all working for the same finish. We want people to have a place that they can come, talk about recovery, understanding that, it's not your fault, but you have to make sure that you're not enabling that person. That's really a hard thing to do. I had a hard time with that because I always thought I could fix everything. Well, you can't fix everything yourself. You need the help. So I'm kind of excited that this is going to be a great opportunity for people in the community to come, share their stories, share their ideas, share their feelings and work it out together, because you can't do it by yourself.
Exactly.
It's a very strong hold, and it not only takes hold of the addict, it takes care of the whole family.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about this program.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody in the family suffers when someone is in addiction. You know, lots of times they'll say, well, you know, I'm not hurting anybody but myself. But that's such a selfish statement, because they're hurting everyone around them. People love them. They see, you know, the regression that they're making. It's like, oh, you know. And then we talked the other day about how many grandparents are raising their grandchildren, you know, now. And the grandparents are like, what am I supposed to do? You know, how do I function? How, you know, where is there no, I've had phone calls, is there no support for, you know, parents and grandparents? And I'm like you, I think this is a great opportunity to bring people, you know, being a grandparent. You know, I enjoy my grandchildren, but, you know, having to raise them the way that people are, you know, it's a struggle for the family.
Yes,
For
and it's
sure.
really great that we're including children, because the meetings are going to be at the same time for children as they are adults. So there's no excuse for you not to come, and you can bring your children. So mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, they now have a place to go where they'll have somebody to speak with, but the child's also going to get help.
Right.
So
All
it's
at
just
the
going to be
same
an
time,
intervention
yeah.
to help the whole family.
Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention there will be snacks. There will be, you know, light refreshments. So you know, when you come, it's going to be a very laid back, very structured meeting. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. And Mel, tell me about what you're going to be doing.
Well, I will be with the adults, and I was very blessed that Sharon did include me, and my daughter is in recovery, so we had talked about long ago trying to do something that we would be able to help the community with the struggling problem that we continue to have, and our grandkids, and finding ways to help them cope. And I think Alicia will be a great asset for that, because one of my daughters said, you know, we don't even understand it. How do you expect them to understand it? So being with that, and given that you contacted me and asked me to help with this, I didn't really think that I was qualified, but I am just excited that maybe it would help me in the process as well. So
Absolutely. Tell them the name of your group.
our group will be called Victory, Concerned Persons, and we expect that we cannot conquer the addiction, but we can choose how we deal with it. And we hope to have many tools that we can provide to families and give them the support they need.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing too, and I don't think parents or grandparents realize this, but how much that we need to learn about enabling people. And lots of times we think we're helping them, and in essence, we are, you know, helping destroy them, not having the knowledge that they need to learn. You know, they call it tough love or whatever you want to call it, but it's, you know, it's one of those things you have to learn. You know, sometimes not enabling someone can save their life.
Yes.
You know, and I think in addiction, when people are in addiction, they play on your feelings. I mean, I'm just being real with you. They manipulate real well. And if they know that's a soft spot in your heart anyway, because they are your children or grandchildren, this is going to help you support. You're going to hear other people talking about the circumstances, the situations that they've been through, and I believe it's going to be a great help in helping people not become enablers. You know, to set their boundaries, to set, you know, their goals, set, you know, whatever they need to do, and you know, sometimes it's hard. It's hard, but when you hear other people, you know, being able to talk and being able to, and you're not out there all alone. I mean, there's other people going through the same thing that you're going through, and just having the hope of every Sunday night, and the meetings, I don't know if we have said this, but I'm going to repeat it. Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock is when we're doing the meetings, and they'll be from 6 to 7. And like Alicia was saying, 7 to 12-year-old will be in a room, and then a meeting room, and then 13 to 19 will be in a room, and the adults. So you'll be separated. So the things that you say will be private. It's not going to be, the kids aren't going to be intermingling with you. It's going to be a private time for you to be able to open up and talk with people that's going through the same thing that you are. Tell us the name of your group, Alicia.
It's 3D Next Generation, which stands for Dedicated, Determined, and Driven. And
Now you
there's
have a
also-
website too.
Yes, I have a website, 3dnextgeneration.net. And if anyone has any questions before the first class, which is going to be December 9th,
Yes.
they can just hit the contact me button on the page, and I can answer any questions they might have.
And if you have any questions about any of the other groups, you can put them on that page, and she'll make sure that everybody is contacted. If you have, questions for Cheryl about things that's going on, Mel or Alicia, ask any questions. There's no question that is not going to be approached. So anything that we can do to help you, that's what we're here for. That's the whole goal. Just like Cheryl said, our end result, finishing with the best support that we can have is every one of our goals, because recovery is hard. Addiction is horrible, but there is a solution. There is hope. And this is, I feel like this is a big part of the solution, is doing something that we've talked about for so long, and now it's actually happening, and it's open to the community. This is going to be, I feel like, a great opportunity for people in the community. So Cheryl, just tell us a little bit about, I know when Father Dustin, he has such a heart for the community, and this is something that he's wanted to do for a long time.
Yes, he's always been behind the community and the people of the community, and he starts different things that he wants to see help the community. Mm-hmm. He's just a wonderful person, and when we started talking about this, it was whatever you need, because that's how he is.
He is. He's great. He's a great support. And I know this is something that we're hoping to establish in the schools and stuff, is putting up flyers and getting a hold of people in the youth, and contacting. There will probably be speakers that will come to these groups, just helping. And Father Dustin is supporting. Cheryl will be in and out, and I'll be in and out, and it's just one of those things that just supporting each other. I'm just so excited about it. Alicia's been talking about it all week. She said, I haven't been so excited for such a long time, but this is, when you have stuff like this going on, there is hope. There's definitely hope in recovery. And Alicia, so you have had teaching experience. Some of the kids and stuff are teens, because you were at the high school level. What kind of comments and stuff, what made you see this is really a need that we have?
I mean, just a lot of times they would come to me with issues with their parents, and at the time, I was just a high school teacher. I wasn't qualified to deal with those issues, so according to school policy, I needed to take them to talk to the school counselor. So, I mean, it was really hard not being able to help them, but I think it's great that now I'm in a position where I can. So.
Absolutely. And with your education, and now you're a recovery coach at the House of Ruth, and I know a lot of the kids at the house, they just kind of, she has like a magnetic force in her that when she walks in, kids just actually just gravitate to her. It's like, oh, Alicia's here. I mean, they want to stay at her house. They're like, I want to go home with you. And so I think that you have to have that kind of personality to be able to work with young kids. And I think that's what, and then your experiences that you have, actually been through helping, helping children, helping the parents, so you kind of have an overall, and you're actually finishing up a degree in social work. So that's going to be a major, a major experience help for you, the knowledge. And like with Mel, I mean, just sometimes, when you said, well, you didn't feel, like you were qualified, experience sometimes the best teacher. You can have a PhD in experience, trust me. And that's one of those things. So tell us a little bit about your heart. I mean, just really what do you want to see happen?
Well, I think most important, I feel the empathy for what people are dealing with, and it's you can be sympathetic, but I think empathy. You feel that, what they're dealing with, and sometimes the hopelessness of the problem of not being able to have the help is bigger than the problem. So I think once they it's a peace of mind that I think will come to all of us, that, and me too, that maybe I do have a purpose, and we can make a difference to one family, that is going through it.
Oh, I believe that. And I think sometimes the hopelessness is overwhelming.
Yes.
Because sometimes, we wonder, am I the only one, and we blame ourselves. What did I ever do?
Yeah.
And I'm sure people, all of us has been there,
It's lifelong. It
is.
It doesn't just go away.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't deal with it, it'll definitely deal with you. And it's one of those things, but I think that's going to be the greatest, and I keep saying that, but I believe that's the hopelessness that everyone is feeling whenever they realize, I can go to this group and they can cry, they can laugh, they can, just pour their heart out and get, and realize, man, she went, sometimes what you went through may be worse than what someone else has went through, and they're thinking, wow, she had it way harder than I did, and she survived.
Yeah.
And she's still going, and she's still, doing, what she's supposed to be doing. And sometimes it just takes that, and experience is the best teacher.
Sometimes you think you need the help, and the best thing you can do is be the help.
Absolutely. Just that hug, that support, It doesn't take $1 million sometimes, a hug, a smile, just an encouraging word.
Yep.
Goes a long way.
It's just something that you have to work at all the time. It's like, don't expect to just come to one meeting. You can't
you're
do
fixed.
That. Yeah, you have to keep coming back, and you have to work at it, and you have to get that support group around you.
Yeah, and become a part of it.
Yes, and you'll learn that when you do that and you have this recovery support. These are going to be some of the best friends you've ever had. They're going to get you through things you never thought you could get through. But you have to work it, and you have to be there, and you have to do it.
And and this is one thing that I have found with people, with parents or grandparents, sometimes they're embarrassed because they think, they're the only one going through it, and they're like, oh, I don't want him to know my child is in jail. I don't want him to know that my child is in addiction. But it's, and it's a sad thing to have to say, but it's a part of society today. Yeah. You can't help what they do, but how that you cope with it can be tremendous, just having that support. That is so true. I mean, in one meeting, it's not going to do it. I mean, it's something, it should become a part of your life. I mean, it is. If you were talking to someone right now, Cheryl, what would you tell them from your heart?
I would say, Don't give up. Learn not to enable.
Yeah.
And just come and learn that you're not the only one going through this. People are going to think more of you for getting the help you need than if you just sit back and let it destroy yourself. Because it will destroy you along with the person in your family that is addicted.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's going to get you faster than them. But don't give up hope. Just come and learn what we do and how we live and how to set up your support group, and you'll be happier because it's very lonely if you don't. You know, they say it's lonely at the bottom for the addict. Well, it's lonely at the bottom for the family members also. You have to work at bringing yourself back up or it's going to destroy you too.
So
So
true.
I just say, come see what it's about. You know, it doesn't hurt. And you'll probably find out, wow, there's some stories out there that will just make your hair curl because they're so much worse than what you are. And you'll be amazed that it's not just your child. It's doctors, it's lawyers, you know, it's corporate billionaires. This problem's everywhere.
Everywhere.
And
Worldwide.
Worldwide. And just ignoring it, you're not doing yourself any favors.
And you know, I think sometimes we think, you know, I've heard people make this comment, and I'm sure you have too, you know, well, Connersville's horrible, you know, the drug problem. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It doesn't matter where you go. It's everywhere. I mean, I think we're such a small community and people knows everybody. I think that's the reason people feel like it is, you know, so consumed. And it is bad. But I feel like there's so many people that are trying to do something to help families. There's so many people out there trying to, you know, to make things get better. And it is getting better. It's like just exactly what it ain't going to take one time. It's going to take, we have to continuously work on this. It's not going to go away
No,
overnight.
I've been doing it for 27 years and
Yeah.
it'll be another 27 years. It becomes part of your life.
Yeah.
But come get the support you need and learn how to deal with it so that it doesn't destroy you.
Yes, absolutely. And that's one thing that I want to tell everyone. I just want to tell you one more time. It's on Sunday evenings, and it's going to be at, is it called the Parish
St.
House?
Gabriel's Parish
Or-
Office.
Yeah, St. Gabriel's. It's at the parish office, and at 6 o'clock, and it's ages 7 through 12, 13 through 19, and then adults, and that includes grandparents, parents, anyone that has a loved one in addiction.
Aunts, uncles, spouses.
Aunts, uncles, yes, it doesn't matter who it is. If you have someone that you love, if you're a friend of someone and you just are trying to help them and you don't know what to do, this is a group for you. This is a meeting that you will enjoy, that will help you. And like we said, there will be refreshments there, light refreshments, and it's all about helping you. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we want to do. And the main thing is come and be a part. There's a couple of the girls at the house that they went into different kinds of counseling and stuff, and I said, you know, the first time they go, they're like, I will never go back. But I said, give it at least 3 times. At least come. And I guarantee you that you're going to learn something, that you're going to want to be a part of it. And as we're closing, I just want to thank the guests for coming today. You guys were terrific, and they're such supporters in the community. And I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I look forward to what 2019 is going to bring. And I'll be praying for you. God bless in each and every one of you. And please try to come to these meetings. The holidays are tough sometimes, but we just want you to be a part and have support. God bless you. Merry Christmas.